2010 was designated as the Golden Jubilee Celebration year at NID. Vision Plus is an internationally recognized series of conferences dedicated to all aspects of information design. The 14th Vision Plus 2010 is jointly designed and organized by the National Institute of Design India and the Institute for Information Design Japan. Initiated by the International Institute for Information Design, these events became a regular get-together not only for the world's information design experts, but also a growing audience of representatives from businesses, governmental, non-governmental organizations, and academia.
So Vision Plus 2010 is basically the 14th iteration of the Vision Plus conferences, which started like in 1996 in Austria. By the International Institute for Information Design. Actually, the initiative for this conference came out of NID of Rupesh. Now this 14th iteration of these conferences in India is like a very special event because for the first time it will happen in India. So I think the second time it happens in Asia.
We are very happy to host Vision Plus 2010 conference at the National Institute of Design. This conference is part of celebration of NID's Golden Jubilee. We are very privileged to have very eminent speakers from all over the world who will be discussing for the next 3 days issues related with communities, healthcare and mobility, which are very relevant not only in India but all over the world.
The conference aspires to seed knowledge, breed competency and cultivate best practice towards a long-term perspective. With attendance from 14 countries and 30 presentations, Vision Plus 2010 covered a wide range of engaging issues in the domains of communities, healthcare, and mobility.
I think in general, information design is part of, say, graphic design or visual communications that aims to help people find their way in a complicated world. And so you have things like signage for orientation in the city, but also how does a washing machine work, and how does a microwave work, and how does your watch work or your mobile phone. And this is helping people understand the complicated world.
From a designer's perspective, information design is a very demanding and challenging domain where you have data which needs to be communicated to a certain kind of target group. And it is to the designer's credit that how do you understand the data and statistics, how do you visualize it, and how do you then represent it in a easy to understand manner.
Rupert Fayas, Andreas Schneider and the National Institute for Design for bringing us all together here. It's a great pleasure and an honor to give a presentation in India. In the next 20 minutes or so, I would like to look at a very peculiar area of information design. I would like to look at the information that people see when they have to take medicines.
It's very difficult to get all the stakeholders of a particular problem together around one table because their backgrounds and their aims and their criteria are very different. The pharmacists cannot distinguish boxes, that patients cannot read the leaflets, that doctors cannot distinguish between medicines and make mistakes and people die. And that will upset lawyers, regulators, pharmaceutical industry, doctors, and that's a way to get people together. Other ways of doing it is getting the financial figures on the table, and getting all these things together is part of this conference.
Can I look at my superannuation statement and evaluate how well my investment's been performing across the last year? Can I work out how many tablets I can take in a day for a specific medicine? So these are all tasks.
I think information design has great benefits for medicine information, utilities and that type of thing, in that it gives you an insight into the behaviours of the people that are actually going to be using it. It helps you to understand what people actually want to do with those things, so that you can gear your design to match those behaviours and match people's expectations. And if you can bridge that gap, you've got a much better communication.
As the title suggests, I work in the area of media for reproductive health. And by media, I also mean training. For myself, as a designer and a communicator, I've had to face a lot of challenges. Firstly, with the rural communities that I work with, there is a general lack of information, lack of awareness about one's own health. Secondly, there's a culture of silence around reproductive health and sexuality. A simple way to understand it for us is what the community is telling me. If I keep my ears to the ground, if I keep my eyes open, if I keep my ears to the ground, I get to hear opinions from the community. I get to hear what young people are saying. I get to hear what the community says.
I'm going to talk about community-centred design, or more loosely, a project that we've been involved with for nearly 2 years now that's been funded by the UK government to look at how you connect people better to the digital economy.
I'm an urban planner. I was announced as an urban planner, and I have to admit I was very, very frightened. What could I say to an information designer? But finally I calmed down, because I found out we are not so far apart.
Dealing with urban design in a way, over the years I came to understand this is much more dealing with information.
I think there are several ways that a designer joining a financial services company could have a very fulfilling career. You know, the thing that design teaches a student is great problem-solving skills. And banks are always in need, and financial services companies are always in need of very good problem-solving.
Sometimes the document may be strange in the complete lack of any photographs of people, or the user may have been completely reduced to design-specific data, ergonomics, space utilization, and so on. And the user or the disabled person may have disappeared in the process. But where are the psychological and social aspects that need to be considered? Where are the studies based on disability models, in-depth interviews with disabled persons to understand the phenomenological aspects of disability?
When we look at the Indian context vis-a-vis the Western context, we have to realize that the socio-cultural scenario here is a very complex one. For example, again talking from the instance of disability, if in the Western context you design in order to bring about independence, here sometimes you have to keep interdependence in mind because your community bonds are so strong.
The conference provided a platform for young information designers from around the world to put forward their ideas to the industry experts.
This is just a snapshot of some of the solutions, and most of them were centered around mobile device as a basic tool.
It was a 3-week pilot project under Bosch HMI Engineering, and the focus was on designing low-cost solutions for vehicles in India.
It's my concept for aiding children with ADHD disorders.
There were also question and answer sessions which facilitated industry experts to interact with the young designers.
NID has organized this conference. It's very important that such conferences are organized. It helps people not only explain the perspective, but also helps in coming to a viewpoint how the future challenges can be met.
And this project, being a public service project, is very passionate to a lot of people. So obviously it's very provocative. This is about public toilets, and so everybody's experienced it and got questions. And this was a great opportunity to be part of this conference.
Conference like this is a space to meet with and talk to people who work very centrally in information design and to tell them about our work. Also to look at whatever other networks are there, ideas, and understand what people are doing in other parts of the world. So it's really important for me to come to a place like this, and especially in NID where there is information design.
It's great. I mean, it's lovely coming here. And the reputation and the international feel to the conference and to the school and seeing was fantastic.
A lot of people look up to us at NID. So if you make some beginning in meaningful design intervention, other people will also follow that. And I can see that this is now happening. A lot of people are interested. And it is tough actually. It is tough because we are talking about ground reality. We are talking about real issues.
In addition to the conference, NID organized informal gatherings, a Bate session with young designers, and cultural programs.
The project I'm going to share is actually my final semester project in NID. It was a classroom project which is now in the process of becoming a live project.
Every day millions of kids are dying. So what we did was we did the calculation, and on the menu card there is menu, but the stars which are the background, each star is a kid which died in that past hour, because stats of that sort are available. So it suddenly gives you a view of, oops, you know, time is slipping by, and so it's also is life, so we should act quickly.
Because we are very frequent travelers of on road by auto rickshaw. So this was a display and control project under Dr. Subir Das.
You know, when I was approaching people in government and other places, they first asked me, you know, what is our relevance in Design Institute? We don't know anything about design. How come we can come to Design Institute in a design conference? They just assume that it is design. So that myth also needs to be broken.
But next time it might be very different, it might have a different name. But surely I think we would like to, in one way or the other, to continue.
Yeah. Continue to deliberate on specific issues. Probably, you know, we may find some more pressing issues.
Vision Plus 2010 provided information designers from all around the globe a unique experience to present, discuss, and debate critical issues concerning information design. Thanks to everybody who contributed to the rich experience and constructive exchanges. We hope to see some concrete collaboration to happen in the near future.